Hello, welcome to another one of my discussion videos. Today I'm going to talk about the Elder Scrolls series, and how Bethesda improved the game in some spots, but ignored it in others. But I want to start with how I found my love for this game series, and how I saw the changes that were made to the game series throughout the years of playing it. It all started when I was in middle school. My brother let me play Oblivion for the first time on his 360. I fell in love with the game almost immediately and was trying to find something similar to it for the original Xbox, which in turn made me find Morrowind, which I dumped many hours into. I even played the game a few months ago and still had as much fun as I did back when I was a kid. Now, the game is missing a few quality of life features, but it still holds up pretty well. Now, I beat Oblivion a few years ago, and it still holds up pretty well. And it has a lot more quality of life features than Morrowind did, but a little less than Skyrim. But you can expect that in an older game, but it still is pretty fun to play. Like, they are there, and it helps the game go a little bit more smoothly. Now, Oblivion and Morrowind share a leveling system, to an extent. And by that, I mean you have major abilities that you have to level up in the game and to play it efficiently. I like this way of leveling. It made each playthrough seem more unique and you had to fine tune everything a little bit better. But that's just my opinion. Skyrim had a new leveling system to the entire series. It's not bad, but I liked it. I feel like it was put in to help get newer players into the RPG format, which is a very good thing, but I feel like Oblivion's character sheet style was more fun and replayable because of the limit it put on. You would be more inclined of thinking of what you want to use throughout the game instead of just using it whenever you get to it, like in Skyrim. Because in Skyrim, whenever you level something up, you level it up as you use it. You don't level it up like a major skill in Oblivion. So anything in Skyrim can level up your character, rather than in Oblivion, if you level up a minor skill, it won't level up your character. Now, here's where we get to talk about the stories. I'll be talking about Oblivion's rather than Morrowind's story due to me not completing Morrowind. And I'll also be talking about Skyrim's as well. So I'll be basically comparing Oblivion to Skyrim. I'm going to be talking about the base games. I'm not going to be talking about the DLCs in these games. Now, Oblivion's story is very good. Very, very good. And the questing is very fun. And I felt like I looked forward to doing the side quests in Oblivion. I felt very immersed in Oblivion because of its variety it offered in its side quests. And I felt very accomplished doing the side quests in Oblivion. Like, I didn't waste my time doing it. Even though some were goofy, like, I still had a great time going through them. Now, again, the main quests in both Oblivion and Skyrim were both good, and they're not up for debate with me, so I'm not going to talk about them too much in this video. Now, both games had good guild quests, but both of them fell short in different areas. Now, in Oblivion, I love both the Dark Brotherhood and the Fighters Guild because of the twists that they both had. Especially in the Fighters Guild, because it started out slow and boring, but it became one of my favorite guild quest lines in the entire game. Now, here comes the Thieves Guild. I don't think it was too good in Oblivion. It had some fun quests, which I enjoyed, but I feel like the whole premise behind the Grey Fox was just a little bit boring for me. And it was an even bigger disappointment later on in the quest line. I didn't do the Mages Guild quest line in Oblivion because I felt pretty overwhelmed by it from how you had to level up throughout the guild. But I will say the College of Winterhold in Skyrim was a pretty great quest line. I really enjoyed it. Speaking of the College of Winterhold, let's start talking about Skyrim's guild quests now. Now let's talk about the Thieves Guild in Skyrim. I feel like it was a much bigger improvement compared to Oblivion's. I feel like the twists that were put into Skyrim's Thieves Guild was just much more enjoyable to follow. Now I want to start talking about the Civil War in Skyrim and how it actually plays into the main quest of Skyrim. If you chose to do the Civil War like later in the game and you just went straight for the main quest, you'll actually get an extra quest throughout the main quest where it just gives you some more immersion and it makes you care more about the politics of the game. The Civil War is really good at giving you emotions regarding the politics of the game, which Oblivion didn't do so well. Oblivion did it to an extent, but Oblivion's extent was going to every city, going into an Oblivion gate, and then having that city fight for you in like the final Oblivion gate battle. The next thing I want to talk about is the Dark Brotherhood quest line in Skyrim. Now listen, I don't want to say it's bad, but I felt like it was piggybacking off of Oblivion's Dark Brotherhood questline with the twists it had. Where it wasn't the same, it felt pretty familiar in the way it did its twists. Now the Companions Guild in this game, I felt like it had the most potential, but it just fell very short. Whereas it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. I have such a negative view on the Companions because I feel like it revealed its twist way too early into the game. There was practically no build up to the twist at all. I feel like the twist could have been handled much better if the main circle companions were being systematically taken out and had to get help from the player character to help with the secret war with this group that is set out to kill them for them having their blessing. I would have loved to have the guards be skeptical about the companions for having their blessing, like how whenever you're in the Dark Brotherhood, they'll say something sly towards you. But then like the guards wouldn't do anything about the companions because they're good for Whiterun. Now is where we get to the ugly of Skyrim side quests. Now there are some good ones, but they're overshadowed by the massive amount of quests that are just filler. And the filler includes just you going to a random cave, killing a random cave bear, saber-toothed cat, or troll, and you're just supposed to feel accomplished about that. Now, I would say that's not as much variety as Oblivion, where I feel Oblivion had whole side stories with some of its side quests. Now we're getting towards the end of the video here. And I would like to say that Bethesda improved in some areas, like the world building with the politics. Like, I haven't seen that in too many games before, and they did it pretty well. But I feel like it regressed in the world building regarding the environment, the wildlife, and the variety of things to do around the game. Unless you're really into killing another cave bear for vanilla villager number 12. Now, if you think I'm wrong on any of my points, please let me know in the comment section. Maybe we'll have a fun debate and maybe I can make a part 2 of this video. But until then, please take care and stay safe.